7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Mother B. Rocker.
You are now tuned in to Butter B Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butter B Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. I cannot wait to introduce this young lady. She is beautiful. Let me tell you, beautiful, beautiful. But before we bring on our special guest, have you got your tickets to the next BBR Indie Films? We are down to 6 days and 14 tickets. And let me tell you, y'all already know how we do. It's going to sell out. It's going to sell out. And don't call me on the last day. I hate to tell people we can't take anymore, but we're at a movie theater, so we have seats. And once the seats are gone, we can't have people standing up getting mad because they're trying to order food and can't eat. Like we can't do that. So get your tickets. That's all I'm gonna say. You can go to www.bbrindiefilms.com. You can also go to Eventbrite. But without further ado, she is a celebrity publicist with Pretty Girl Work Entertainment. Can you guys please show some love for KP?
Woo-hoo.
Hello, beautiful. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing excellent. It is another beautiful day outside, and we are on this side.
Girl, it's beautiful, but it's still cold.
Oh, yes. Yes,
it's still cold, but it's beautiful. And next time we might get some more snow.
I'm
not ready.
I'm praying that we don't, because it's supposed to be for next week. So I'm praying that we don't, because my event is next week. So
I don't think it's going to be that much. I really don't.
No, I don't either.
No,
I don't either. But I don't know if you was here the time that it years ago when the weatherman said, "Hey, it's gonna snow," and no one believed it, and it shut the whole city down. Was you here?
Was it 93 when everybody was stuck in their cars for like 21 hours?
Everybody.
Yes. That was like 90 something. Yeah, I remember.
That I was there in it. And
you were stuck?
Oh yeah, I was stuck. I didn't get home to my kids till the next day. Had to end up staying at Life University, followed a stranger because I had no more gas and I was on the side of the road. So yeah. But with all that being said, we ain't gonna even put that energy out there. We are here to talk about you and all that you are doing. So, Pretty Girl Work Entertainment, Miss KP, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is KP. My name is Kimberly Parks, but when I was growing up, everybody gave me the name KP. So, I kind of took that and ran with it. Mm-hmm. Growing up a lot, I was a tomboy, I'll tell you right now, and I still have a lot of tomboyish ways. So they be like, "Oh, you're too pretty for a tomboy. You're too pretty to be a tomboy." And I was like, "What does that mean?" Or I used to get this, "Oh, you're too pretty for a big girl." That used to drive me crazy. I used to, what does that mean? I'm too pretty for a big girl? Because I'm very confident. So I started this company, and because I was being very like, what's the word I want to say? I was being very adamant. I was going to let you know, yeah, I'm a pretty girl that works, because just because I'm pretty does not mean that I don't work. And I work very hard. I am a Capricorn. So anybody that knows Capricorns, we're very hardworking, hard-driven women, dedicated. So, I started doing that, and I just been doing Pretty Girls Work Entertainment and consulting for about 7-8 years now. So it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey for me.
I actually really like the name, and I like it even more now that you've explained what it means. So that's pretty cool. When is a publicist needed?
Pretty girl right here. Whew. Jump right into it. Okay.
I like to.
A lot of people. I know. It's all good. I used to work with a lot of artists, and they was like, hey, I need you. And when I look at their social media, I look at like their content, when I look at what they're doing, it doesn't add up with what they say they're doing. Or they say they need a publicist, but only got like what, 500 followers, 300 views. No, you don't. I think a lot of artists, people don't understand. Sometimes you got to put in the work first. You got to make sure that the content matches what you're doing. You got to make sure a lot of stuff before you bring in a publicist. A publicist comes in at the end when you're like in the medium, like, okay, you're almost there. You got the traction. People are checking you out. People are curious, but you need someone to help push you into different audiences. That's when I come in to help, and I help push your brand, push your image, and I help tweak, your look, your Instagram, your social media. I put you in different rooms, different podcasts, different radio stations, different bloggers, different things like that to help push you along. And then once that happens, then that's when, they get the traction. And normally clients like that, well, let me say, I could say normally I have some clients that last for like 3 months, some maybe 6 months, some maybe a year, and some to this day, they still around, and it's been years. So it just really depends on your platform. What exactly are you doing? What are you trying to do? Looking at your audience, just looking at the work that you put in, because when I come in, I'm not doing the work for you. So you have to make sure you put in the work, because I'm not going to do the work for you. So if I feel like you're done the majority of the work, then I'll step in, but I'm not coming in and taking over. I'm not.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah.
So, all right. We understand when you step in, but when did you decide that this was a field that you wanted to do in the first place?
Girl, so I was through into this because I used to have a podcast called Love and Hips TV. And it was me and 2 other models. All of us are full-figure models. Like, we modeled for years. I used to model 15, 20 years. So we were doing a podcast, and we will interview, a lot of celebrities, like DJ Jelly or Bob Whitfield, that used to play football, or actors and actresses, or anybody in the industry. And every time we interviewed them, everybody used to be like, KP, I love your energy. KP, I love you. What exactly do you do? KP, I want you to come check out this. Or like after the events, I still, stay tuned in to them. I still kind of check in with them, and they be like, hey, let me invite you out to this, and I want you to check this out. So, like, I got 5 brothers. So it's like dudes, I'm very close with dudes, not so with women. But it was like after that, I just started being around them. And when I say, they just open up doors for me, bringing me in different rooms with different people, networking. And see, I'm born and raised here in Atlanta. So a lot of these people, 9 times out of 10, I've already known them because, like I said, I'm born and raised here. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm connected. I know a lot of people. So it started like, as time just kept going by, I just started being connected, and I'm putting pieces together. I used to call myself, what's the name of it? It was a movie, and he was in the industry, and all he did was get paid based on his connects. That's it. Like, he was bridging the gap. He didn't do nothing else but bridge the gap. So it was like when I started working around, like, I worked with labels like from oh Lord, Ugly Money Nietzsche. Of course, we know about Ugly Money. Like 1501, that's Megan Thee Stallion's label. Def Jam. I've worked with so many amazing people, and it's like to be able to get in those rooms and build those relationships. Mm-hmm. I just kept those relationships very personal. And I just kind of took off with them, and I just started playing with them like, hey, what do you think about that? And you know what? They helped mentor me. They was like, okay, let's try like this. Or when you bring somebody to me, this is what I need for them to do. And they kind of like mentored me into the game. And I took that and really like ran with it. I studied it. I ate it like every day until now. Everybody was like, oh yeah, we know KP. Like, KP walk in rooms, and it is what it is. I love it.
Nice. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing publicists in the current media landscape?
Yeah, these people don't want to pay you. They don't want to pay you, and they want you to do all the work for less money. The problem with me is I work with a lot of celebrities, And I kind of stepped back from working with A-list celebrities because let's be real, 9 times out of 10, A-list celebrities is not going to pay you. It's going to, with those celebrities, it's based on your connection. It's going to look good for your label, your brand. It's going to look good that I can walk in the door with a Jeezy or a Goody Mob, or I can walk in the door with certain people because I'm connected to them. So things like that, I don't mind helping and doing, because some things or some connections are priceless. You can't put a price on it. Now, when I'm doing stuff for other people, hey, this is my price. At first I used to be like, well, they'd be like, I don't have a KP. Can you just work with me? And 9 times out of 10, when I was doing that, I wasn't getting paid, but I found myself doing all the work. And then once the project and everything boomed and everything manifested, I didn't get the credit either. So it was like, wait, I did all the work. You did nothing. And you didn't even pay me for it. But yet you didn't even acknowledge that this is what I did. So for me, and it's been Atlanta, the hardest part for me now is sticking to my guns and sticking to my price. My price is my price. I'm very plugged, I'm very connected, and I'm very passionate about what I do. So it is what it is. Like, no matter who are you, what kind of friendships we have, I might cut deals. I might work with you, but you're going to have to pay me for some of this stuff. It's just, sometimes having a big heart in this industry is not always good, because people take your kindness for weakness, and they will take it and walk right over you.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But speaking of prices and stuff, what is the fee structure and how are your services priced?
Oh, girl, I'm gonna give you a basic, because I'm not gonna break it all the way down for you.
Okay.
But like, my lowest package is like $500.
Okay.
That's just a basic 1 or 2. I get you a podcast interview, maybe a blog, maybe like invite you out to 1 event, maybe 2 events. That is that. And normally those right there, you have to do maybe like a 3 to 6 month contract, because 9 times out of 10, it takes time to build up to get the exposure, the media, the attention that you need. So I think a lot of people feel like once I jump in, they ready to be famous in 30 days. And it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it doesn't work in 6 months. Sometimes it takes longer. So that's why I put my clients on retainers, because that is a work that you have to do every month constantly. You have to literally be on social media to be connected, to see what event's going on. Do they fit this event? Do they fit this event? How can I merge them in? Can I get them on this platform? So lowest one is $500. Now, I have some that goes up to $20,000, $30,000, but that's if they want to actually go to the actual label. That's when they're ready to be like, listen, I got this. My numbers are right. Analytics are right. My views are on point. Right. I want to do this. I have connections where I can actually take you to the actual label. But in order to go to the actual label, you already know they're not taking nothing less than $10,000 to $20,000 just to go to the actual label. So, I have it from 5 to 20 to 30,000. It just depends on what are you trying to do. Now, like for my entrepreneurs that's really starting out, or my authors that's writing books, or actresses or actors that's doing events like that, I can, like I said, no more than $750 to $1,000. It depends. And I can, like I said, we can do a 500 one too. It just depends on what do you need and where you are in your project. Normally, if at ground zero, like you need a lot of work, then that's when I'm gonna charge you more, because you need a lot of work.
Right.
If you've already put in the main parts of it, the main work, it's already done, then I won't charge you that much, because I just got to come in and just tweak a little bit and put you into different rooms. That's easy. But those ones that you got to do a lot of work with, I'm going to charge you, because that's going to take me a lot of time. And I normally don't like to do no more than like 5 clients, like maybe every 6 months or so, because I have a 9 to 5 also. So 9 to 5, I'm on the radio. I'm in school to get my bachelor's as well. I'm a mom. So I don't want to be one of the women that just take all these people and taking people's money, and I'm not doing nothing. So I only do take 5. And then after that, I close it down. And then maybe in the next 6 months, I bring in some more.
Yeah. I actually, a lot of people don't know, but I actually have a degree in marketing and PR.
Okay.
And I started taking on a couple of clients. I went back to school because I was going through a divorce and I needed to focus on something.
Okay.
And I said, well, being in music, learning how to be a publicist and learning how to market myself is the best move, for my own self. And
Right.
then once my friends that are also in the industry found out that I was about to graduate, which I graduated magna cum laude, but when they found out I
Yeah.
was about to graduate, they started asking me to work on their projects, but nobody wanted to pay,
They
you
sure
know.
don't.
And it is a lot of work having to contact all these people, build these relationships. Then they want to, you got to keep following up with people, get people on schedules. They want you to send, they want to know who you're talking to, what they saying,
Absolutely.
and want the list of
Hmm.
people. I said, oh, this is a lot.
Oh, especially if you have to do a red carpet, you have to keep up with all those media. You have to make sure you
Right.
get all the information, make sure they send all the content. You got to make sure they do the interviews 1 to 2 minutes for each month. Like it's a lot, and it
It
takes
is.
time.
It
It
is.
does, and they don't understand that.
The
They
one
really don't.
sheets, the media press kit.
All of it,
Yeah, it's a
all of
lot.
the above. Yep,
And
they
people
do.
take it for granted and don't think that you're really working, and or don't really see the behind the scenes. There's so much that go on behind the scenes that a publicist has to do.
Right.
And it wasn't until I started doing it myself that I had a better appreciation for when I would hire people now, because I understand.
Yeah. And I
So,
think I'm at that point now where I know within probably the next year, I'm going to just, contract a lot of people out to do certain things because I want to help so many people. And true enough, I can't do it by myself.
mhm.
No matter how much I try, and sometimes they'll come. What I do hate, I can't lie. When they call you in the middle of the night, KP, can you do this? KP, can you do this? I just need this one thing. Can you do this? I'm like, no. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but I don't like to do it all the time. But people do take your kindness for weakness, and I just be like, listen, it takes too much time. So even on the weekends, I have to balance that because when I have my kids, my
Mhm.
family and my kids are important to me. So when I have my kids, I cut all business off. You
Right.
talk to me during the week because when I'm focused with them, like that's their time to have mommy time. Take off
Right.
the publicist hat, take off the radio, take off all that, and be just mom. So we going outside, we playing in the park, we playing football because that's important to me to have a balanced life.
Right.
And I make sure that my clients understand that like I'm not no money hungry person where I'm just gonna take your money and I'm just giving you the bare minimum. No, like I'm one of the people I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I should do this. And that's just me. So I have to make sure for me that I balance my work life and being a mother as well.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
how do you select what clients you choose to work with?
Energy. Absolutely energy because I am funny acting. I don't like if all money is not good money. If
Amen.
you gonna stress me out, I do not want it. I'm telling you now. I have turned down many people, and they be like, "Well, KB, I want to work with you. I want to work with you," but they just so aggressive. Their attitude is just, and I don't like that. I really
Mhm.
when I talk to people, I sit down, we talk. Just by me vibing on them, I can tell if I'm gonna take on a project or not.
Mhm.
It just depends on how much work I'm gonna have to really invest into the situation. So I really like to sit down and really talk to people and really see, their characters, their beliefs, and how they feel about, home life, work life. If they want them people that they want to work 7 days a week, 365 days, I can't work with you because it's
Right.
gonna come a point where you're gonna be asking me to do something, and I'm in the middle of movie night with the family or the kids, and I'm gonna be like, it's gonna come off rude because I'm gonna tell you no.
Mhm.
You call me at a certain time, and I have to make sure that I don't cut my phone off, but I don't answer the phone either at a certain time.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's definitely based off the energy for me.
Got you. So what are
Yeah.
your goals for Pretty Girl Work Entertainment?
Whew. I want to be known not just in the city of Atlanta.
Okay.
My goal is I've been working with a couple of promoters, a lot of people that's in Houston, New York. Those my top cities is Houston, New York, and LA. I
Mhm.
want to be connected where not just, yes, I think I got Atlanta covered, but I want to be internationally known. I even want to do, and I just told my producer this, I want to go to Ghana. It's something about Ghana. I want to go so bad because I have a heart for helping other women and entrepreneurs. They don't have to be living in Atlanta. They can live and they can be Asian, they can be African, they can be Indian. Like, helping people is not just here in Atlanta. I want to be well known. I want to travel. I want to be one of those publicists that, I like to travel and people, fly me in, honey. I'm big on that. Fly me somewhere. I'm good on that. Fly me in on certain things and not just different cities and states, because that's easy. But I want to be able to help people internationally. I want to perform and help do concerts and promotional concerts. Like in Bahamas, like I know Rotimi. So Rotimi, he's Jamaican and all of this. I would love to put on a concert and an event, in Jamaica. It's just being with the right people, making sure you connect the dots, making sure those dots are solid, and just having the right people, the right team. I think sometimes the people become too anxious. Right. That's how, stuff falls apart because you're too anxious for it. And I'm not anxious for anything, Yeah. I'm going to take the time and make sure that the connection is right first, because I work hard for my name. I work hard for Pretty Girls Work. So I don't want to just jump into stuff and then it fails or something goes bad or it's bad business, because that's my name. Right. And you mess with my name, we're going to have a problem because I work too hard to get to where I'm at, Right. So right. I definitely want Pretty Girls Work is definitely going to be internationally known. Definitely.
I am definitely internationally known, more than in the States. I tour a lot overseas, all the places.
Really?
Yes, Ghana, Bahamas, Jamaica. Those are regular stomping grounds for me on where I tour.
And do you like doing that more internationally or more in the States?
I like more overseas, because overseas you would think I'm a freaking Rihanna. You got people holding up signs for you when you get off the airplane, fainting when you speak to them. It's like, I'm like, wow. And they just appreciate music. It doesn't matter, your status. If you're an indie artist, because I'm an indie artist and I've toured, and it doesn't matter if you're indie or if you're major. As long as you got some good music and can entertain, oh, it's golden overseas. Ethiopia was my first tour. Yeah. Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. I did 6 months there. Any place overseas, from Spain to Chile. I've toured all over the world, and it is amazing.
Yeah, but we might have to work for real, because I love just really want to go overseas, because you said it. It's like overseas, their thought process is different. They don't care about all of that other stuff that people care about over here. Yep. They don't care about that. They just love music. They just love to dance. They just love the vibe. Over here, it's just so much red tape. You gotta look like this. You gotta have this and that. You don't need all that over there.
Yeah. People they don't care about your numbers. People. Yeah, they don't care about your numbers, what you go on social media. They don't care about none of that. As long as you can put on a good show, can perform, have a positive attitude, you golden overseas.
Yeah, see, that's why I think that's what my calling would definitely be. Now you just really made me. You're gonna amp it up more for me to really push that. For me to kind of go overseas. I keep saying, I don't know why I keep saying Ghana. I keep saying it. I want to do it. So a lot of people be like, "Girl, you go over there. They ain't gonna never let you come back." I said, "Well, you're gonna have to let me come back." But I definitely want to go more internationally.
Yeah, I can see that. What are the key elements of a successful public relations campaign?
You got the questions today, girl. Key elements of a successful campaign. One is definitely time. I have to make sure I have enough time. I say that because I hate working with a lot of clients that want to pull off an event in 5 to 7 days, or maybe 5 days, maybe even 3 days. And when I tell you, it's crazy, because they'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you $1,500 real quick. I just need to pull this event off. Can you get me this many media platforms? Can you get me this? Can you give me red carpet?" And it's like in 3 days. And then they want you to have a successful over the top, everybody and their mama come. It doesn't work that way. A lot of people don't just jump like that in 3 days. So for me, it has to be time. I have to have a lot of time on it. And then I'm one of the people that we have to have meetings. Like, I want to know what's your main thing, what's more important to you, so I can make sure I focus on that. I want to make sure what the media platforms that we have is, important, and it goes with what you're trying to do, what you're trying to reach. Communication. I'm really big on communication. I don't bug you, but I'm big on communication just to make sure everything is locked in. It's because it's going to be problems every time you do an event. You're going to have some sort of problems,
Right.
So you just got to make sure that you know how to maneuver, and like you said, pivot. Make sure that you know how to maneuver and pivot, and just make sure that everything gets assessed. Like, I'm very anal about from start to finish. So
Right.
I want people, like, once we have the meeting, I want to go over it. I want to do a breakdown. Hey, this is how we're going to do this coming in. Hey, we already got these people confirmed. I have spreadsheets, and I'm old school. Like, a lot of people use a computer, and I get it, but I love to write stuff down. I got a board. Like, I keep my board with me everywhere I go. I keep my fanny pack because I keep all my stuff on it, because when I come to work, I come to work. I don't come to be like, we finna be cute. No, I come to work. So the key elements is definitely time, definitely communication, making sure that your brand and the media, everything lines up, making sure we lock in stuff at enough time. I don't like waiting till the last minute on locking in certain venues. And just make sure that venue can bring everything that we need. Make sure like their system, their everything that you want to pull off of a successful event.
Right.
I'm very adamant about making sure that everything just kind of really runs smoothly from A to Z, and we are locked in at enough time, not just last minute stuff. It just drives me crazy. Yeah.
And how do you leverage your extensive network and industry relationships to achieve the best results for your clients?
Ooh. It's easy. A lot of people, you know what? A lot of people go through my social media and they just look at my social media page and they be like, KP, you did this, or you work with this person, or you work with this person. And I tell a lot of people post on social media, just they take a picture. But a lot of this, maybe a good 90% of the people that I took pictures with, I actually have connections with. So, if they say, hey, I want to see if, like, we did an event, like, I think Killer Mike, we did an event for him at the Capitol, and he got awarded, some prestige award. And, people saw that and they were just like, wow, KP, you was at the Capitol, or you do this. Like, I use my connections that I have to leverage a lot of people. They see my social media. I'm one of them people that I post content every day.
Right.
Every day I'm posting something. Every day I show you what I'm capable of doing, who I'm connected to. Every day I show transparency, which I'm so glad I'm on Transparency Talk, because I show you the real KP. Sometimes it takes, the hustle and grind. You see those good days, you see them bad days, you see that hard work. So I think once people see that I'm really human, I'm really a basic, human being, but I'm humble with it. I'm very connected, but I'm humble. And I listen to them and I talk to them and I build relationships with them. I'm not just one of the people that just take your money and, we don't have no communication, or we just text all day. I kind of like, we build a friendship. We build a great relationship and make them, feel comfortable. I reassure a lot of stuff with my clients. And I have a very open relationship with them. Like, they can call me, they can talk about this, we can run ideas. I got job boards, I got markers, highlighters. Like, we go through the whole thing like we in school. So I love all of my clients. I might have had one or two that, it just didn't work out with, but I leverage that because I make people feel comfortable, and then I really can bring what they really want. Whatever their vision is, I really can bring it to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you see the role of publicists evolving in the coming years?
To be honest with you, I see it dwindling out. I really do, because I think publicists are very overrated on certain things, because a lot of this stuff the artists and people, they can do their own self.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself doing a lot more consulting than I do actual, the publicist work. And when I
Mm.
say consulting, a lot of people call me and ask me for my ideas, and I had to sit back for a minute because people, when they call you and say, "Let me pick your brain for a minute," that means they want your knowledge, they want your tea, they want your connections, and that's not gonna happen. Um, I think a lot of people, a lot of artists don't like to do the work. They just want to be like, listen, I'm just gonna pay you to do it. And I do believe that people still will need a publicist. I don't think that they're gonna be on high demand as much, because there's so many people that say they're publicists. And when you look at what they do, you just be like, all I see you doing is just taking a couple pictures with people, or you was at an event, or you're doing this. But it's just kind of hard for me to pinpoint. That's why you said that word pivot, because that's where I'm at in my life now. Like, what is my pivot? Like, if publicists don't, continue to do the bread and butter, because like I said, I got 3 or 4 jobs. I'm not just a publicist. I'm a radio host. I'm a mom. I just took on another client where I work. I'm the office manager for a whole production studio. So I'm one of them people that I pivot. I don't just put everything on one thing, because the industry changes so much.
Right.
Like, it used to be you had to do so much to be like real talented to do music for labels to sign you. Now they look at your social media, they look at your TikToks to see how many views you got. And if they like you, then they're gonna sign you. You might sound horrible, but you got millions of views and everybody loves you. So they're gonna sign you. So it's not the same no more. So for me, I gotta just make sure that I have a pivot. So that's why I keep saying my focus is more internationally and not just here in Atlanta. Connecting with a lot of other different states. I do a lot of, also, I'm doing what is it? It's like the Bring Back the Hype. I just worked with another company, and we're doing like an indie karaoke event, and we just started doing that. I think it's in February, and just like bring in a lot of indie artists, and do a lot of karaoke. And a lot of people have the heart for it, and I'm one of the people. My hands is in everything because I love to help. But I got to make sure that when I'm helping, I'm pivoting, and it all makes sense, because I still have kids. I have a son in college that I pay for his tuition. So, of course, I got baby boy, and, I'm trying to do it on my own thing. So it takes money to make money. Trust and believe that. Plus, I work for my own 9 to 5. So it takes money, but you got to also think about a pivot when it comes to this. And I don't know if publicists will be my end game. I actually want to be in A&R too. So I kind of been connected with a lot of 1 or 2 people that I know from Quality Control. That's Lil Baby's label, and the City Girls and all that. And then I've also, with 1501 too. So I'm just thinking, like, I'm in it, but I'm learning how to make that pivot, and I'm okay with either way, because I can do it all. But I just want to make sure that when I do a pivot, that it just makes sense.
Yeah. For me, I was forced to pivot because I had to sit down for a whole year after my knee surgery, and I couldn't tour.
Oh,
And I had to learn how to re-walk again using a walker for 3 months, 3 times a week for an entire year. I had to do physical therapy, 2 months with a walker. 3 months with a walker, 2 months with a cane. And it was really traumatic for me. And I had to figure out, okay, chick, if you can't tour, what else can you do? What else are you good at? And I had to really sit down and say, okay, well, I know how to write. I mean, I was a songwriter anyway, so I know how to write. I had already did a play that had 6 national recording artists in it, and I always wanted to write a book, and it was just things I always wanted to do. And then when you're just sitting there, all you could do is be creative. I'm like, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna write that book, and my book became an Amazon bestseller in 7 hours. And then I said, well, I want to start a podcast. Then my podcast got picked up. I'm in 6 international stations overseas because I travel so much. So they picked me up on their stations and stuff.
Wow.
But had I not, been willing, well, I ain't gonna say I was willing to pivot. I was not willing at first because I was forced.
Yeah.
God, I'm a bull. I'm a Taurus. So God had
Oh,
to
Lord.
judge me. Yeah, he had to be like, all right, shit, because when I'm
Yeah.
focused, I'm focused. And so
Yeah.
he had to nudge me into a whole nother career. Not that I don't still sing or any of that. I'm actually about to drop my new album. I'm about to start
Okay.
touring again. I'm about to start going back overseas and everything now that the new album's going to come out. But yeah, pivoting is not a bad thing. You gotta be open to it.
You
And so
do.
it sounds like you're open to, you know, other avenues and other things that you're talented in, which is a good thing.
Yeah, that's how I got into production and film, because I see in Atlanta is the next Black Hollywood.
Hmm.
So once I started, I met with Rod. Of course, when you interviewed Rod Newman, I met him and we just kind of clicked.
Hmm.
And we went from there to now I'm the production coordinator of Hits Production House. Like, and I've never did anything with film. But
Hmm.
it's like once I got into it and I was behind the scenes and coordinating this, I fell in love with it because coordinating and I'm already a supervisor in my job. I do revenue
Right.
finance, so it's like it kind of fell in line with what I do. So then I'm starting to see the film industry and how everything works, and I'm like, okay, that's like a strong pivot for me because the money is really in film and in TV and all that. So I kind of been working a lot with him on learning that and really working on my craft as far as production coordinator and really just helping him. Also, he just taking me up under his wing and he's even teaching me how to work the actual camera.
Mm.
So a lot of times when he's in films and he can't shoot himself, he's like, okay, KP, showtime. And he's been training me on how to work those cameras. Those cameras are not heavy. I mean, they are not light. They're very heavy, and they cost a lot. So he's real
Hmm.
particular about the camera. But when you say pivot, I love that because now I can say that now I'm learning the film and now I've been connected and really working with him on that. So we're working on something now to where we'll have our own actual studio where I can just work it and focus on that alone and not so much all the other stuff. I be
Right.
in that office. So I will, because when to be creative, you got to be around creative people. And you
Right.
got to be around people that have that energy. And Rod is one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite clients because he always has the energy. Every
Hmm.
time I pick up the phone and talk to him, it's energy. He got something. Hey, KP, let's do this. KP, what you think about this? And I
Hmm.
love it. So yeah, it's definitely about the pivot for me. And and then when you said about book, I met a minister that prophesied to me, and he was like, "It's time for you to tell your story." Because I went through a divorce and I went through an ugly divorce. And when I
Hmm.
tell you, I lost it. I lost self-esteem. I lost who I was as a woman. I was so depressed. Like it was ugly. And that road, that journey that I went through,
Hmm.
it's like now I'm comfortable enough to talk about it because it's
Right.
so many other women that has the same story that I've had. They went through the same thing that I went through. So it's like now I'm so open to talk because
Hmm.
I've been there. I've done that. And you know what I'm saying? So now I'm open to share. And when he said it's time for you to write that book, and when you said something about that book, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I need to do that too. But it's just so much. It's about timing and just finding the perfect
Yeah.
team to help you with that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah.
Um, well, how can people hire you as a consultant, as a publicist,
Um, a
connect
lot of
with
people.
you?
Yeah, a lot of people DM me. A lot of them DM me. They send me
Okay.
requests in my DM. Also, I have a website, info@prettygirlswork.com. You can go on there and schedule a consultation. I normally don't like the DMs because that automatically kind of forces you to talk to them right then.
Hmm.
So when normally I just send the link, hey, if you want to talk to me, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I charge a fee because 9 times out of 10, I mean, I hate to say it, but you got to pay for some things. Like some time that it takes a lot of time to really sit down and really talk to some people sometimes and really kind of get to know and understand what they need.
Right.
But it just depends on me. Sometimes I'd be like, yeah, what do you need? Or I talk to you through DMs, and then sometimes I'll send them the link, and they'll book a 30-minute session or 45-minute session, and I end up loving their product and what they want to do, and we just go from there. So you can definitely book me through either my business link, or you could just send me a DM and say, hey, I would like to have a sit down with you, and then I'll make that decision then. But yeah,
Now,
that's normally how they book me.
For your DM or for your in case people don't have the information, where do they see you at?
You can go to my Instagram at officially KP the publicist. I don't even know my own Instagram. Officially KP the publicist. Also, Pretty Girls Wear Entertainment on Instagram. And on Facebook, if you want to send me a message, it's Kimberly Parks, which is my government. You can send me a DM there, and I normally read my DMs pretty. I read them really quick, because my phone will alert me, and then I'll get back with you if you want to do it that way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you so much for coming on the Transparency Talks podcast and being so transparent with me and my audience. Truly appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed this interview.
Yes.
But with that being said, everybody, we are out of here. We're going to talk to you guys later.
All right, stay on, Kimberly. Care.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right, bye.